Oh,
He's an
right.
Argentinian midfielder.
Oh.
He missed the match, hasn't been training. Roland Salai, another attacking midfielder, missed the match, but it was reported that he was only rested, so not an injury. I would expect him to feature. But that's three midfielders right there that they're dealing with some problems with. And then their right back, Zikov Milanov. Isn't that Milanov?
Do.
Milanov.
None of these names are Greek, by the way.
No. So, yeah. So Zikov is Bulgarian, but he's actually listed as their only true right back, and he's missed the match, so they're probably going to be sliding out a slower center back to fill in at the right back role. So those are your injury updates for APOL. And then moving on to Huddersfield, they've had some injuries up at the striker position. Steve Mounier, the striker that they purchased from Montpellier this season, who started off with 2 goals in their opener, he's missed the last 2 games with a foot problem. But he started training. Their manager has confirmed that he will play against us, so he'll be back. Their other striker, Colin Quaner, is still out with a knee injury. Danny Williams, the American midfielder, picked up a fracture in his foot against Leicester last weekend, so he'll be out. He's seeing a specialist.
A fracture.
Also out.
You live for fractures.
It's a small fracture.
just a small one. Hairline.
Just a small one. Just a small fracture. He is seeing a specialist. Casey Palmer, on loan midfielder from Chelsea. He's been out with a hamstring injury and is still out. And then 2 players who had muscle strains, Deportre and Lapara, they were able to play against Burnley, so they're going to feature against us. But you got 3 players for sure that will be out, is Quaner, Danny Williams, Casey Palmer. And those are your injury updates.
Man, I got to tell you, how much does it cost you to, like, the moles that you have planted in these respective physio rooms around Europe? It's unbelievable. I'm not going to ask you to
proprietary.
It's part of the model. I completely understand. Okay, so we've got Champions League coming up on Tuesday. We have APOEL away. I have to ask you this. What is the history of this club? They've historically been the strongest club in Cyprus, and what do we know about them?
No, it's sort of been in phases, actually. They're the strongest club at the moment. They won the league last season. The Cyprus League is... they have a regular season, and then the top 6 clubs go into some kind of playoff. But they won the regular season, and they won the championship as well. They haven't historically been the strongest team, but they've been probably the best run and most organised team over recent years. They lost the Cypriot Cup final last season to Apollon Limassol, who are in the UEFA Cup and playing Everton at the moment. And they've only played sort of 3 games so far this season, and they've been off to an indifferent start. 1-1, drawn 1, lost 1. So they're going through a bit of a mixed period. So it might be a good time to play them.
So they lost to Madrid, right? Lost 3-0? Is that right?
I believe so. I can't remember the score. I know they lost. Yeah. There's a bit of history between Spurs and APOEL. For those old enough to remember, Ian Moores, who played for us 76 to 79 or something like that. He bounced around the league and then ended up at APOEL, where he became a firm favourite and played for them for about 6 seasons in the mid-80s. Yeah. So he was a big player for them, and they still love him, even though Ian sadly passed away in 98, I think. But so there's a connection there. But should be interesting on Tuesday.
Well, their biggest claim to fame was what they did in the Champions League in 11 and 12. They did get to the quarterfinals, which is a pretty extraordinary accomplishment for I don't want to call them a minnow team, but certainly a team from a smaller, less established league. We'll get to predictions later, but generally speaking...
We better talk whether they're on TV or not.
Are they?
Well, I'm on DirecTV's website, and I see it airing at 7:00 in the evening. So it'll be because you've got, let's see, the live one I think is Spartak and Liverpool. It's at 1:30 our time. And I think maybe even Madrid is playing at that time on Tuesday. So search your channels. I don't think it's obviously going to be FS1 at that time. So it looks like the evening, 7 o'clock.
Well, you want to watch this one because it is going to be the debut of our purple kit.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You changed your order, right?
We didn't talk about that last week because I think it came out and we failed to mention it on the show last week.
Purple kit. Describe
Purple kit.
Describe it, other than it being purple.
Well, its official name, isn't it called the Dazzle Camo? I think Nike's official name for it. And what multiple teams came out with it when it debuted middle of last week, the week before. Roma, Barcelona, Chelsea, and City are four that I know in addition to us. And I know a lot of people said, yeah, Nike template, but it's a sharp-looking kit. I don't think any of the others had the purple shade that we have with the neon yellow. And I think with the lettering and the numbers, it's going to look pretty sharp. So, I've got mine on order.
I've always liked this. I've always liked the purple kits that we've worn.
You love purple.
So I do. Well, I went to TCU, so I got a connection there, and I've always liked the ones we've had. I can rarely think of a purple one that I didn't like, so I'm kind of excited about that. So, how did you find out that we were going to play in that? Did they make a formal announcement, or?
I think Nike had made the announcement when they first released the kit. So it's just something that kind of went under the radar. No one was really paying attention to it. But I did some digging and found, because I'm interested in seeing how that shirt actually looks, live on the players on camera before I decide which one I'm going to get.
Now, what's Hapoel's home strip? Is it white or is it yellow? Do we know?
It's usually yellow.
It's usually yellow, so it'll be interesting to see how that shows off. All right, so that's Tuesday. So, Vass, will you be able to watch that live, or how will that be televised in the UK?
Yeah, it's live in the UK. Oh, right. BT Sport have the Champions League over here now. They took it away from Sky a couple of seasons ago. They're showing there's about 3 English teams playing on Tuesday night at the same time. So they're showing 2 matches on their BT Sport channels, but our game happens to be on an ESPN channel that we get over here.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if it makes any difference for you guys if it's on ESPN or anything over there at the same time.
I think Fox has the rights for Champions League. Yeah, so it'll be one of the
this season.
So that's you think of that as like the American equivalent of Sky. And there's 2 channels. There's Fox Sports 1 and 2. And I think they have a subscription. I don't know how much it is, and I guess if you get that, you'll be able to get that live or stream it live, or either watch it on TV or stream it live. So we have Huddersfield on Saturday. That's another 12:30 kickoff, so another 6:30 Central Time start for us at the pub. We want to review that match. Anything notable there? I mean, Huddersfield, for a newly promoted club, has had a pretty good run of things. I think they're 9 points, and they've got the only thing I know about them is they have a manager, German manager, who's sort of rated pretty highly. A little bit of this sort of Jurgen Klopp mold, if you will. What's worth talking about?
Well, they are unbeaten at home. Their first home match, they beat Newcastle. Then they were at home against Southampton, which was a draw, and Leicester, which was a draw. So 1 win, 2 draws. They picked up a point yesterday at Burnley. They've only lost the 1 game this season. They're 2 points behind us. So is it going to be an easy place to go to? Is the new promotion shine going to wear off? You kind of hope that you go to those teams when they've had probably a third of the season under their belt, so they've had that reality check. I'm not sure if they've had that yet, so maybe we need to give it to them.
I think it's going to be a really tough game because they've only conceded 3 goals this whole season. They have 4 clean sheets, and they're a team that's very defensive minded. It's going to be like it was against Swansea, against Barnsley. These teams are going to sit back against us, and it's going to be hard to break them down. That's why I think you saw so many goals yesterday, because that's the first time in a while. Well, I mean, I guess you can draw the comparison with Dortmund. West Ham came at us. They weren't sitting back, parking the bus, and that's why we're scoring goals in those games. But when these teams just play 10, 11 behind the ball the entire match, it's difficult to break it down. So I think we're looking at a very low-scoring game on this one.
Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with their manager. Even last season in the championship, what little championship football that I saw, he always comes across as a very sort of thoughtful, modern day forward thinking manager, a bit like Poch in actual fact. So got a lot of time for him. Don't know too much about the team, but really this is a fixture that we need to be winning. The forward that's coming back that Timmy mentioned earlier, he looks quite threatening, scored some goals for them before he went down. So it's a bit of a bummer that he's coming back for the game against us. But really, we ought to have enough, and we need to be looking to win this game on Saturday.
And just to add a note on Wagner, he's actually half American as well.
Is he really?
Yeah, right. He used to play for the U.S. national team between 96 and 98, and he is the son of an American father and German mother, and grew up in Germany. So made his professional debut with Eintracht Frankfurt in 1990. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Did he play? He played at MLS too, didn't he?
No, he did not.
He did not. Okay, all right.
Well, there you go. Maybe the next USMNT boss, perhaps.
Well, and because of the military families that are in Germany, there have been so many players that have come up through the U.S. national team system via that route, and the U.S. has really depended on that European soccer heritage as they've grown up to help them, or they'd probably been in a bigger world of hurt than they already are.
So another point of note for Vass and I, since we are Star Wars fans, Sir Patrick Stewart is a Huddersfield supporter.
He is indeed. Yep.
Yeah. So down with Star Trek.
So Sir Patrick Stewart. Okay, he's the bald-headed.
Yeah, right? from the X-Men.
Picard.
Yeah,
I like to think of him as.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking Star Wars. My bad. Okay. I got you. All right. So speaking of Huddersfield, they play in the John Smith's Stadium, right? Beer. We are sponsored by a better beer, the Community Beer Company, particularly Mosaic IPA, a wonderful brew. It's time for Community Beer Company Mosaic IPA predictions. We'll start with Apoel.
You're overcompensating for your intro.
I am. I know who pays us. I know who pays our bills, although I forgot at the very beginning. Who wants to start? Vash, you should start. No, Vash should start because he's from there.
Our parents are. Okay, so I'm just going to go a win for Spurs 2-0.
Timmy?
I'm going 4-0.
God, every time you do this, it's a 1-0.
Well, the reason why is, when we played against Dortmund in the Champions League, they were missing their right backs, and we scored those goals from the left side, Sonny and Harry. Once again, Apoel missing their right back and have a slow guy over there. Look for Sonny to turn it up on the left side.
Okay. All right. Cheers.
I go 3-0, split difference.
I'm going to give us a 3-1. Before we go on to Huddersfield, I want to talk about lineups real quick. What do you think you'll expect, especially relative to Huddersfield on Saturday? And then 2 weeks, we're going to be off for 2 weeks because we have an international break coming up.
I think Aurier, given that he's going to miss Huddersfield and Trips is going to play that match, so I think we could see him in this.
Do you think he would have been anyway? Even do you think he would have got the start anyway?
No, I think he's transitioning into our number one choice. So I think he would have started Premier League, and Huddersfield they're going to be tough to break down defensively. I think we're going to miss Aurier in the match.
I think on Tuesday night, Jan Vertonghen isn't playing, and neither is Dele Alli. Yeah, so I wouldn't. Rather than shove Dyer into the central defensive roles, I wouldn't mind. I'd consider at least pushing maybe Ben Davies on the left, sort of centre back of the three, and then maybe bring Carl Walker-Peters in at left back.
Or do you think we can go? You think we can go 4 at the back? Because I didn't think with Jan being out and Aurier. Well, I guess if we're going 4 at the back, you need to start Trips.
Are we talking Tuesday or Saturday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, I suppose so. If we